Dear God, I gotta make a video on this, don't I? Alright, so let's talk about it. Saitama's powers and all that stuff, and debunking all the really bogus claims made about him. Basically, in a nutshell, for the past like 5 or 6 years Saitama's been around, he's basically been a character that every single person in the versus debating scene probably has to run across at some point. Just because One Punch Man fans will ruthlessly, and I mean ruthlessly, constantly snort a line of coke, go online and argue about Saitama's power. Is because, like I said before, One Punch Man fans don't really use reason or logic to argue their points, and they completely ignore what fallacies are, and they don't know anything about verse debating. They just assume if they just regurgitate the same 2 points for the next like years, they probably will eventually be right. Now, the funny thing about this I keep hearing from One Punch Man fans is kind of hypocritical, is a bunch of really dumb little mini arguments I keep hearing, so I might as well shut them down now. First mini argument I got shut down now is Saitama doesn't die, so thus he's better than Goku or any other character you guys put him against. I'm using Goku as a basis because, heck, it's fucking Goku. He's the guy that gets jumped on a lot in the versus debating scene, so might as well talk about him. First of all, one, yes, Goku has died before, but they've all been via suicide. And two, even if you were to say he were to get killed by people, guess what? Every person he's been killed by can solo One Punch Man, and ever since, not to mention as well, a character dying does not mean they're stronger than the other one. For example, Sakura Haruno has never died in Naruto. Is she better than Superman? I don't know. Apparently, Colonel One Punch Man fan, she's like multiversal, I guess. But I don't know. Anyways, another second weird dumb argument I hear One Punch Man fans regurgitate about the Dragon Ball Z universe is, well, Vegeta died in an explosion on planet Earth, so I guess that must mean that they don't have planetary durability. Please watch Dragon Ball Z if you can argue this point, because first of all, Saiyan Saga Vegeta is tanked getting hit by a planetary attacking Goku. Namek Saga Frieza survived Namek fucking exploding, and not to mention characters in Dragon Ball Z all the time will be hit with planetary attacks are meant to hit them specifically, but you know, people don't pay attention to the lore of the series, and they just completely ignore shit. I mean, heck, not to mention it's really confirmed in guidebooks, guys like Cell can blow away entire solar systems with one ki blast, but you know, One Punch Man fans don't like guidebooks or evidence or anything like that. Their guidebook, literally, if they were to open it, will be shutting down every single last one of their arguments they've been having for the past few years. Now I've got that stuff out the way, let me go ahead and now discuss Saitama's weird debunks I have to talk about. First of all, Limitless Saitama. Limitless Saitama is a weird argument that One Punch Man fans have been going with mainly, arguing that since Saitama broke his limiter, he should be everybody in fiction. The issue with this argument is pretty clear, because One Punch Man fans don't understand what a no-limit fallacy is. If you've been in the verse debating community for like more than fucking 6 months, you know what a no-limit fallacy is at this point. But if you guys don't understand, basically it works like this. Itachi Uchiha has stated in the entire Naruto series that no one can beat him unless they have a Sharingan. So, according to the show, if you don't have a Sharingan and you fight Itachi, you just lose, I guess. This is what a no limit fallacy statement pretty much is a statement that's made pretty blatantly to hype up a character's power, but may not be true, obviously, in most cases. And that's why in Saitama's case it's blatantly not true. Because One Punch Man fans took this statement and they misunderstood breaking your limiter means. Like, it doesn't mean he literally goes infinite in power. He just simply has a lot of energy inside him. And for those who are huffing and coping in the comment section and or pause my video to respond to this, please keep in mind one important thing. If Saitama was an infinite power character, why did he not one punch Boros? Is Saitama's infinite power character, why is he still train every single day? Is Saitama's infinite power character, why is he still one-shot himself in the virtual genocide simulator? These are a bunch of things that you obviously can bring up to One Punch Man fans to debunk their points, but I know there's a counter-argument people have for the first thing I'm saying, and that's them trying to say Saitama didn't want to one-punch Boros, but obviously the issue of this argument is pretty clear because, first of all, if you watched or read One Punch Man, he's accidentally one-shotting most of his opponents. He isn't trying to drag out a fight or anything. And not to mention as well, not only is he accidentally one-shotting these opponents, he's not trying to drag him out with anybody. He only does this with Boros, and in this case, Garu, currently for 2 reasons. In Garu's case, he's doing because Saitama doesn't want to one-shot him and kill him. But at the same time, it doesn't really matter because, like I said before, an infinite power character should just simply incapacitate Garu if he doesn't want to kill him. But like I said before, One Punch Man fans don't realize what infinity means, so they have to constantly do a headcanon to gauge what does Saitama's power really mean. In Boros' case, is pretty debunkable due to the fact that the argument being used here is Saitama didn't want to one-shot Boros because he felt bad for him. But like, literally all you need to do is just, I don't know, watch the fight and you would see why that's wrong. First of all, Boros obviously, yes, does say that Saitama held back, yeah. But like I said, the guise of the context of what he's talking about, meaning that he held back the serious points being used on him, not the whole fact that Saitama just overall held back in general. Like, yes, Saitama does hold back a little bit in the fight, but at the same time as well, Saitama does admit the only reason Boros is handling any of the punches and stuff is because he's a powerful opponent. So yes, Saitama really isn't going to be that powerful if he's going to go around and struggle one-shotting Starbusters. Like I said, you can't go around trying to say that, characters like, Saitama is going to really have a great time fighting Goku and one-shotting him, but he, for some reason, thinks that a Starbuster who's like Namek Saga Frieza level, for some reason, is going to really give him a hard time. Same thing goes with Garu. That makes no fucking sense. Next argument also is the Saitama's a gag character argument. This is just what One Punch Man fans say when they just run out arguments with you at this point because they only have like a few in their arsenal. But yes, gag Saitama is an argument saying that since Saitama is funny, he must mean that he is going to always win, despite the fact that's not how this works. You see, gag characters are characters who usually have Toon Force, which is the only reason why they win. Meaning, if X character like Bugs Bunny or Rayleigh or Pinkie Pie from My Little Pony, yes, this pink fucker solos One Punch Man, unironically, yeah, all these characters have a form of Toon Force. And in Bugs Bunny's case, the way how we know for a fact he can legitimately do this to people is because in the way of how Toon Force works, is that Toon Force is a way to basically counter conflict with the sake of comedy and reality warping for the sake of humor. And in Saitama's case, he doesn't have any of this whatsoever. Saitama is only doing this stuff via the power explained within the lore of the series. Basically, what I'm saying is, Bugs Bunny is doing it nonsensically while Saitama is doing something that is contained in the lore of the show. It's not an unexplained magical funny gag power. It's to explain to you how he got this powerful and why he's doing this. It's told to you by him and other characters that he is one-shotting people because he's too powerful, not because it's nonsensical and he just does it. That makes no sense for those who try their best to argue that it is just his gag. Cough, cough, Josh Inspires, goofy ass. Josh Inspires in this video tries to also say that Saitama's gag is tied to his narrative. First of all, you're right and you're wrong. In Saitama's case, it is definitely tied to his narrative. It's restated by you in the opening credit of the episode of the fucking video that in the interview by One literally tells you the only reason Saitama is so powerful is because he is narratively written that way and he's really easy to write for him. So yeah, Saitama's power is technically tied to his gag. And even then, if you don't want to bring up the fact of gag being tied to this whatsoever, Saitama by himself really is just a fodder, planet buster, star buster who really ain't gonna do shit to most people's verses. So yeah, long story short, Saitama really ain't soloing JoJo Bizarre Adventure either. Another argument I also heard from this video and others was Beerus and Goku aren't immune to gags. This argument is just literally the people just admitting that just never watched the episode. So let me explain to you this argument I heard from people in the server and a private debate I had with one person in the server. So first of all, Saitama isn't a gag character that uses Toon Force, so this wouldn't even matter. But they're trying to apply any person's gag, in this case with Toon Force, would be, of course, working Goku and Beerus. In Goku's case, yes, but in Beerus' case, no. So let me explain something to you. Goku is admittedly actually having a hard time with Rayleigh because it is told by Goku that Rayleigh has Toon Force for Vegeta. This is pretty clear because it is told to you in the episode, and that's why Goku then later on tells Rayleigh, do not fight Beerus. That gag power stuff does not work on you. It doesn't say gag power stuff, but this is supported because of one thing someone in the server genuinely said, and they said, and I quote, Goku isn't talking about gag power, she's talking about ki. First of all, Goku and Beerus has fought each other with ki before. Just say you didn't watch Dragon Ball Super, bro. And then not to mention, why would Goku even be referring to ki in the first place? I guess they're like, what is proof that he's talking about gag powers? They kept harping on this argument for a while now, and then I told them, well, because Vegeta told him that Rayleigh is using gag power, so what else would Goku be talking about? And then someone else also didn't try to say, well, Goku's just lying. Like, what? What the fuck? Goku's just lying? Alright, cool, just play this fallacy then. Anyways, this argument basically is just them just coping and just huffing just the biggest tank of copium about arguing over if Goku's lying or not about Rayleigh. Then also, he didn't proceed in his video said that Beerus was hurt by a gag later from a Rayleigh. First of all, it wasn't Toon Force. I'm pretty sure I were to feed fucking Superman a bowl of shit, he wouldn't like that. And not to mention, this isn't how a gag power works. In the case, I got into a private debate with someone in the server about this, and the person tried to argue that the poop is associated with the Rayleigh, so thus it's a gag power. Did Aurelia shit it out? No. Okay, well, fuck you then. And not to mention, trying to say, well, it came from the Dr. Slump universe, so the Dr. Slump Universe Association, it's a gag. Well, Beerus erased the gag character then because he killed the ghost dude from Dr. Slump. And then he proceeded to say, well, no, not that. That doesn't count. Like, what the fuck? Don't make arguments like this, please. And then proceed to backtrack on him. Because later on, he then goes on to say another dumb argument saying that Beerus can't erase immortals, which is, yes, true, confirmed in manga. However, literally he says he's referring to Aurelia. Now, I'm not the sharpest knife in the crayon box, but I'm pretty sure Rayleigh doesn't have immortality like that. Like, it doesn't work like that. The way how immortality in Dragon Ball Z goes, if someone wishes for it in one of the Dragon Balls, they have a high level of durability and they cannot die through the means of being erased from existence or being killed via any physical attacks, pretty much. Or anything that can actually result in a death via outside force. Basically, what I'm saying is, Aurelia doesn't have immortality just because she's a robot and can't die of old age. You can see that she easily can be destroyed and broken apart with a simple kick to the head. So once again, the argument saying that Aurelia is a infinite immortal gag character makes no sense because Beerus can easily erase her and just kill her. Not to mention, his argument is trying to imply that anyone who's bionic is an android like that, thus they are all immortals. So yeah, according to this guy, Beerus just couldn't erase the androids, I guess. And that was all the arguments I've heard for One Punch Man fans for now. This will probably be only part 1 for now, but I'm pretty sure down the line I might do a bigger deep dive on this because, boy, there are small little niche arguments I keep hearing in terms of this travesty here. Dear God, pray for me. I'll make a video on this group eventually. But yes, long story short, I'm gonna go now. Like and subscribe if you like listening to this dumb shit and or reading this dumb shit. Yes, thanks. See ya.